Hey everyone, ready to dive into something pretty fascinating.
Oh, I think fascinating is an understatement.
All right, you got me. How about mind-blowing? Today we're going deep on manifesting desires.
Not just any manifesting, though.
You got it. We're talking Neville Goddard.
3 days to your dreams, all through the power of imagination. At least that's what he taught.
Pretty bold claim, right?
It is, and that's why we're here, to unpack it all.
For this deep dive, we're looking at excerpts from Goddard's work, and let me tell you, it really makes you think, what if we could actually shape our reality, create the lives we want, just by using our imagination?
That's exactly the question Goddard tackled head-on.
So no more just kind of vaguely hoping for things?
Nope. Goddard was all about precision. He believed everything we experience begins as an idea, a thought. Before something becomes real, it exists in our imagination.
Okay, so our inner world shapes our outer world, not the other way around.
You got it. That's where manifestation comes in. But Goddard was very clear, it's not just wishing for things, it's about being incredibly specific about what you want.
So no more, I want a new house.
Mhm.
We need to be crystal clear on what that house looks like, feels like.
It's like ordering a custom-built house. You wouldn't just say, I want a house. You'd describe every detail, every room, the style, everything. It's the same with manifesting your desires.
Got it. So if I want to manifest that dream job, it's not just picturing myself at some random desk.
Right. It's about imagining the company, the work you're doing, the environment, everything.
Whoa, so we're talking sensory details here.
Yeah.
What does that office smell like? What sounds do you hear? Who are you working with?
Yes, make it come alive in your mind.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Yeah.
How does simply imagining something, even vividly, make it real in the physical world?
Feelings. That's Goddard's key. He believed emotions were the language of the universe. It's not enough to picture your desire, you have to feel it as if it's already happened.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So if I'm visualizing that new job, I also need to feel the excitement of getting the offer, the satisfaction of the work, even maybe the relief of a shorter commute.
Exactly. It's about embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled, like you're already living it. Goddard called this living in the end. You focus on the end result, not the steps to get there.
Whoa, that's powerful. But what about doubt? I mean, I know I'd be thinking this is too good to be true or this will never work.
Goddard knew that doubt is a part of this. He actually said, your faith must be so strong that it pierces the veils of doubt and contradiction.
So it's a mental battle against those negative voices.
In a way, yes. Goddard believed our experiences stem from our assumptions and beliefs. If we keep telling ourselves we're not good enough or we'll never succeed, that's what we'll see in our lives.
We're basically affirming our own negativity.
Exactly. And that's why he was such a strong believer in the power of affirmations. We need to consciously choose positive statements that support our desires and repeat them with conviction.
So instead of saying, I'm not good enough, it's, I am capable and deserving. Or instead of, I always fail, it's, I am successful.
Yes. By repeating those positive affirmations, we can retrain our minds to believe in our own potential. We're replacing those old limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones.
It reminds me of those negative self-talk loops we all get caught in sometimes. But what about visualization? Everyone talks about the power of visualization these days. Did Goddard talk about that too?
Oh, absolutely. He believed visualization was key to impressing desires onto our subconscious mind. He recommended taking time each day to just sit, close your eyes, and visualize your desired reality with as much detail as you can.
All those senses, right? Sight, sound, smell, touch, even taste, to make it feel as real as possible.
Exactly. He believed the more real we make it in our minds, the more our subconscious believes it's possible, like planting seeds in fertile ground.
Okay, so we're planting those seeds of desire, and the more vivid we make those images, the more likely they are to take root and actually grow.
Yes. And Goddard even suggested a specific time of day when this visualization process is extra potent.
Wait, are you talking about that drowsy, just before we fall asleep state?
That's the one. Goddard believed our subconscious is super receptive then, making it the perfect time to plant those seeds. He actually suggested falling asleep while visualizing your desired reality.
So letting those images and feelings seep in as we drift off. Okay, gotta try that tonight. But hold on, what about faith? Does that play a role in all of this, or is it all just visualization and feelings?
Faith is a cornerstone of Goddard's teachings. He saw it not as blind hope, but as a deep knowing, a certainty that what you desire is already yours.
So trusting the process even when you don't see immediate results, believing it's working, even when you don't understand how.
Exactly. Faith bridges the gap between what we see and what we don't. It sustains us when doubt creeps in or things seem to be going wrong.
But doesn't that lead to a bit of a dilemma? I mean, we're told to believe wholeheartedly that what we desire is already ours. But at the same time, don't we need to let go of trying to control exactly how and when it shows up?
That's a very insightful point, and Goddard recognized that too. He really emphasized the importance of releasing attachment to the outcome.
So how do we hold the vision with unwavering faith while also letting go of the details?
It's about trusting that the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has a perfect plan. We need to release the need to micromanage everything and just allow things to unfold naturally.
Okay, so not just waiting around, but not forcing things to happen either.
Yeah.
Holding the vision lightly, trusting that the universe is orchestrating everything to bring that desire into reality. But how does that actually play out, in real life? How do we know the universe is working its magic?
Goddard referred to this unfolding of events as the bridge of incidents. Basically, a series of events, sometimes random, that ultimately lead us toward our desired outcome.
Wait, hold on, I need a visual here. What would a bridge of incidents look like in practice?
Well, imagine you're manifesting a new job. You're visualizing it, feeling those positive emotions, affirming your worthiness. Then you randomly bump into someone you haven't seen in years at a coffee shop. You chat, and it turns out they work in the field you're interested in. And they mention their company is hiring. That chance encounter, that could be part of your bridge of incidents.
So it's not about predicting these incidents, but being open to the possibilities, trusting that these seemingly random events are actually guiding us in the right direction.
You got it. It's acknowledging we don't always know the best path, but the universe does. And while we're on this journey, Goddard emphasized something else that's really important: gratitude.
Okay, now this is interesting. We hear so much about gratitude, but how does it connect to manifesting our desires?
Gratitude is powerful because it shifts our focus from lack to abundance. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, we're appreciating what we do have.
Ah, I see. By expressing gratitude, even before our desire manifests, we're telling the universe we're ready and willing to receive more.
Precisely. It's about cultivating an attitude of abundance. And that gratitude actually attracts even more abundance.
So this is less about magic and more about a partnership with the universe. We do our part, visualizing, feeling, affirming, and the universe responds, orchestrating events, opening doors.
Exactly. It's recognizing our own creative power while acknowledging that we're a part of something much greater.
I love that. This conversation has been incredibly insightful, and I'm sure our listeners are as fascinated as I am. We've covered so much, from the power of imagination to the importance of gratitude.
It's a lot to digest, for sure.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's pause here. Let everyone absorb what we've talked about.
I think that's a great idea. We've laid a solid foundation, and now it's time to delve into how to put these principles into practice.
Exactly. So stay with us. In the next part, we'll explore how to actually start manifesting your own desires step by step. All right, welcome back, everyone. That last segment was, intense.
It was a lot, right? So many powerful ideas from Neville Goddard. Our thoughts creating our reality, feeling our desires, faith, gratitude.
Yeah, my mind's still spinning a little bit, honestly. But now it's time for the fun part, right?
Absolutely, putting these principles into practice.
So let's say I'm ready. Where do I even begin? What's step one?
Well, first things first, you got to identify what it is you really want to manifest. It can be anything, really: a new job, a relationship, better health, anything that excites you.
Okay, so no limits on what we can desire. It doesn't have to be something tangible, material.
Nope, not at all. The key is choosing something that truly resonates with you, something your heart really wants, something that'll bring you joy and purpose.
All right, I've got my desire in mind. What's next? Do I just jump right into visualizing it?
Visualization is definitely important, but before that, remember what we were talking about earlier: clarity.
Right. No more vague wishes.
Exactly. So if you're wanting a new job, for example, don't just imagine yourself in some generic office. Get specific.
Okay, so paint a picture. What kind of work am I doing? What's the company culture like?
Yeah.
What skills am I using?
Yes, and bring in those sensory details. Imagine your ideal workspace, the projects you're tackling, even the commute.
Wow, so detailed. It's like creating a blueprint, right? But what about those times when I get caught up in the how? Like how am I going to get that job, or how is this even possible?
Ah, yes. That's where living in the end comes in. Instead of focusing on the steps or worrying about the logistics, just shift your attention to the feeling of already having it.
So I'm immersing myself in that experience, visualizing myself walking into that new office, feeling that pride and accomplishment.
Exactly. Engage all your senses.
Yeah.
What does success in this new job feel like? Is it fulfillment, security, joy?
I'm really loving this idea of embodying those feelings. It's almost like stepping into a role, trying it on. But how much time should I be spending visualizing each day? Is there like a magic number?
There's no hard rule. Some folks do a few minutes a day, others like longer sessions. The real key is consistency. Make it a practice, just like exercise or meditation.
And listeners, remember, consistency doesn't mean perfection. If you miss a day or your mind wanders, don't stress. Just gently bring your attention back to that desired outcome.
That's right. And speaking of consistency, remember Goddard's advice about using that state right before sleep.
Oh yeah, that drowsy in-between state.
That's it. He believed it's a super powerful time to really impress those images and feelings on your subconscious mind.
Like giving my subconscious some overnight homework. All right, I'm game. But what about those doubts? Those voices that whisper, this will never happen, or I don't deserve this. How do I deal with those?
Those doubts are totally normal. But remember, our thoughts and beliefs shape our reality. If we keep feeding those doubts, we're giving them power.
Like watering weeds instead of the flowers, right?
Exactly. That's where affirmations are so helpful. Instead of, this will never work, try, my desires are manifesting perfectly.
Love it. And instead of, I don't deserve this, it's, I am worthy of all the good the universe has to offer.
Yes. It's about retraining your mind, giving it a software update, replacing those old beliefs with empowering ones.
Powerful stuff. But what about when, life throws us curveballs? What if things are happening that make it seem like my desires are impossible?
Remember the story of Victor and the building?
Oh, right. He wanted to manifest that building, and it seemed impossible.
He faced so many obstacles, but he never wavered. He held that vision for 2 whole years, visualizing every day, even when things looked bleak.
It's a great reminder that our current circumstances don't have to limit our beliefs about what's possible. But how do we maintain that faith when it feels like everything's working against us?
It's about trusting that the universe is working things out behind the scenes, even if we can't see it yet. Remember the bridge of incidents.
Right, that series of seemingly random events that lead us toward our desires.
Exactly. Trust that the universe is orchestrating those events, bringing your desire to life.
So, no need to force things or get anxious about timing. Just relax and trust. But doesn't that make me passive? What if I just sit back and wait for things to magically fall into place?
It's not about being passive, but finding the balance between living in the end and taking action when opportunities come up.
So if I'm visualizing that new job, I might also be updating my resume, networking, applying for positions that fit my vision.
Yes, it's about aligning your actions with your desires. It's a partnership, a co-creative dance. You plant the seeds, the universe provides the right conditions for growth.
This is making so much sense now. It's not magic. It's about aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and trusting the universe's wisdom.
Exactly. And as you practice these principles, you'll probably start to notice a shift in your perception. You'll see opportunities you didn't before. You'll feel more aligned with your purpose.
And everything will start to flow a little more easily.
You got it. But it's important to remember that manifestation isn't always a smooth, straight line. There will be moments of doubt, times when it feels like nothing's happening.
Yeah, that's real. I think a lot of people can relate to that.
It's important to be aware of those potential challenges, to have strategies for dealing with them.
And that's what we'll be talking about in the final part of our deep dive. All right, welcome back, everyone, for the final part of our deep dive into Neville Goddard's techniques for manifesting desires. We've covered so much ground already, from how our thoughts create our reality to the importance of really feeling those desires like they've already happened.
We even talked about taking action, right?
Yeah. While still trusting the universe's timing.
It's a delicate balance for sure, but as with anything worth doing, there can be some challenges along the way.
Oh, absolutely. So what are some of those challenges we should look out for? What kind of bumps might we hit on this manifestation journey?
Well, I'd say one of the biggest ones is impatience. We live in a world where everything is instant gratification.
We're so used to getting what we want, like right now.
Exactly. So it's natural to get discouraged if our desires don't manifest overnight.
Yeah, that makes sense. We order something online, expect it to show up the next day. send a text, expect a reply, like immediately. So how do we bring that patience into, something as big as manifesting our desires?
It's about shifting our focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of constantly checking for signs, getting anxious about when things will happen, we practice being present, enjoying each step of the journey.
So appreciating what we have right now instead of obsessing about the future.
Exactly. And remembering that the universe often works on a different timeline than we do. There might be things happening behind the scenes that we're just not aware of.
Like you plant a seed, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just keep digging it up to see if it's sprouted yet.
Exactly. You have to trust nature's timing.
Makes sense. But speaking of trusting, another challenge I can see is getting too attached to a specific outcome. We might have this picture in our minds of how we want things to go.
Yeah, but the universe might have a different plan. Maybe an even better plan.
Oh, so if we're too rigid in our expectations, we might actually miss out on opportunities that don't quite fit our picture.
It's about being open to receiving our desires in unexpected ways. Like, you order something online, you have a specific model in mind, but then something better comes along, maybe even at a better price. You'd be open to that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. So it's like trusting that the universe knows what we really need, even if it's not what we initially thought.
Exactly. And as you surrender to that trust, you open yourself up to something really powerful, your intuition.
Wait, intuition plays a role in manifestation.
Big time. As you're practicing these principles, you might notice these little nudges, gut feelings, flashes of insight that guide you.
So we need to pay attention to those whispers, those inner knowings, even if they don't seem logical at first.
Exactly. And one way to strengthen your intuition is to make time for stillness.
So meditation, spending time in nature, just quiet moments to listen inward.
That's it. And another powerful practice is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down a few things you're grateful for. Big or small, it doesn't matter.
It's so easy to get caught up in what's missing and forget to appreciate what we already have.
As you practice gratitude, you start to see the world differently, through a lens of abundance instead of lack. And that attracts even more good things.
It's like a positive spiral. The more grateful we are, the more we have to be grateful for. Before we wrap up, there's something I've been thinking about throughout this whole conversation. Self-love. Does that play a part in all of this?
It's essential, actually. When we love and accept ourselves, full of flaws and all, we raise our vibration. We become more magnetic to the things we desire.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's actually a key ingredient in the manifesting process.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing our worthiness, truly believing that we deserve all the good stuff the universe has to offer. When we love ourselves, we attract more love, more abundance, more joy.
That is such a beautiful thought. So to our listeners, as you start your own manifesting journey, remember, patience, flexibility, trust your gut, practice gratitude, and above all, love yourself. The power to create your dream life is within you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Embrace that power and watch those desires unfold.
This has been an amazing conversation. I know I'm feeling so inspired and ready to put all this into action. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom.
My pleasure. And to everyone listening, happy manifesting.